Oh, what's going on? How's it going, everybody? Oh, there's Mike Murphy. Mike Murphy.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
How's it going, Mike? How's everything?
It's going, man. We're doing great on Deepwell, coming into the final 24 hours, and only about like 2K left to fund. So yeah, gonna be hustling hard today.
Very cool. All right. Yeah, I saw you putting out before that if anybody does live stream, let a Mike Murphy know. I know it's late. I know you're also Mike Murphy, and you're working on Deepwell. All right. Let me see if I pull Deepwell up. Let's just talk about Deepwell real quick. We didn't get a chance to talk about this before. Mike, one of the things I like about you is you give up. You never give up. Like you're like, look, I'm not giving up. I mean, you know, this is either going to succeed or it's not. If it doesn't succeed now, it'll succeed bigger later. Because it is the Mike Murphy way. We did an interview about that. You had that with Samurai and Dinosaurs, right? You relaunched it, and it was successful.
Yeah, we had that, first campaign, and like we talked about, however long ago it was, just did everything wrong, was completely a novice with it all, and came back strong with the second campaign, and then with the Gods Fear Me, there were some stumbles during the first 30 days, but by the time we closed that campaign a few months ago, it was like 4,000 over what we earned on Samurai and Dinosaurs.
Yeah, you have a little bit of a high number for fixed. You know that. It's no shock.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Brian Blevins. We're just talking. Oh, wait. Sorry. Yes, it is Blevins. Brian used to own a retail store. He knows his thing. Good to see you, Brian Blevins. Excellent to see you. Sci-Fi for Me TV. We were talking about calling you Sci-Fi Fizzle, Bizzle, Dizzle. We're going to work on that. Don't change your name yet. Keep this name. It's a good name. We're going to work with it. We do what we can with it. All right, Mike, I actually did pull up Deepwell. Let's add it to the stream and take a look at this campaign. We are going to talk mermaids. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some laughs. Oh, thanks for calling us gents. We will try to live up to that term. Deepwell.
I try every day.
Deepwell. How deep is your well? Now, this is not a sequel, or it is a sequel. How does this relate to anything you did in the past?
No, it's completely standalone. The first 3 or 4 projects that we're doing, between now and 2021 are all going to be standalone books. There's no shared universe stuff going on.
Okay. All right. So this is its own project. All right. This is a family drama with guns. Yeah. I love the with guns. Guns is great. A family drama with guns, a savage tale of the Old West, starring mysterious vigilante. All right. Cool.
I can give you a quick rundown if you want.
Absolutely. Brian Blevins is also the co-host of Pop XP with Billy Tucci and really? Okay. Oh yeah, you were on too. Okay, great. Well, Brian, yes, we got to do that again soon. That's awesome. Yeah, I love Billy and Niall. Very cool people. I was just on with Billy on another show last night. Give me the rundown. Tell me about this campaign.
You got it, man. So, it is, I'll start with the elevator pitch. The elevator pitch is what happens the day the Lone Ranger rode into Deadwood. The longer pitch is it's the story of the Block family who run Deepwell behind the scenes with an iron grip. They're evil, corrupt, and everyone lives in fear of their power and authority.
This is my situation. One day, I can really relate to this, Mike, because I am evil, I am corrupt, and many live in fear of me, as well they should. So already I feel like I'm the hero of the story. I can relate.
An entire town's worth, right?
There's a whole town's worth of people like that?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. No, like town. Deepwell is the town, and the Blocks kind of rule over them all. So one day, a masked vigilante, the Gray Devil, rides into town, and it's like adding kerosene to fire to kerosene. Sorry, I got dyslexic there for a second.
Yeah, I got you.
He's dead set on taking down the Blocks one by one, and nothing's going to get in his way until the job is done. Deepwell is one part grim family drama, one part vigilante action story, one part hyper-violent Western thriller. It's drawn by Rafael Dantas, featuring full colors by me, The base perk comes in at $15, and like I say, we'd love to have everyone listening come along for the ride. If you're into Deadwood, The Wild Bunch, Tombstone, Unforgiven, or any of Tarantino's westerns, this is the book you've been waiting for.
Very cool. All right. Now your featured tier, the swag bag, and you've done some pretty cool featured tiers before. What does this swag bag include?
So the swag bag is going to include it's going to include both the book and the prequel, but you're also going to be getting a map of Deepwell hand-drawn by Rafael Dantas. You're going to be getting a set of 7 character design trading cards.
Nice.
And the two big ones you're going to be getting are a print of Myra Block, who is the eldest sibling in the family.
Okay.
Drawn by Vinnie Tartamella.
Cool.
And you're going to be getting a print of the Grey Devil himself, drawn by John Malin.
I love John Malin. Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. It's great that you got him to contribute that. All right. So you got 31 of those claims. So that is a good tier to get in at if people just want to get one single copy. So this is 32-page book, or how many pages is the book?
Yeah, 32 pages. Just like with God's Fear Me, all of our first issues are going to be 32. And then with our second books, we're probably going to bump up to 48 pages.
How is God's Fear Me going, by the way?
Yeah, it's going good. We should be in fulfillment by September at the latest. Right now, Kristen is about halfway through drawing the book. He is a busy and in-demand guy, so we had a couple delays.
Understandable. All right, keep it rolling, brother. Keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Now you have a digital version. I know a lot of CG guys are like, no digital, but I know there are a lot of international that I see people buy my books international sometimes. I'm like, wow, I really appreciate you spending all this money getting a book shipped to Romania. Right. So, I mean, there's some guys that do it, and like, wow, like there's some guys that are big supporters of CG. You probably know their names too. It's like very impressed. Yeah. You guys are amazing. You guys supporting creators like this. You backers, we appreciate you. And you're working hard to make this book, obviously too. So it's great. You can't do it without the backers and without the creators. You got to have both.
For sure, man.
All right, it's an ecosystem, baby. All right, 2 physical copies, $25, a little bit of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Book and prequel. What's a prequel, Minnie?
Yeah, so the prequel is going to be a dime store novel. So it's going to have mostly prose, but there are going to be accompanying spot illustrations. And those are going to be done by Fernando Garan. You can see his cover right there coming up. He's really different from Raphael, but there's something about it where the two of their styles complement each other.
Yeah, I really like this. This is Fernando?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a lot of weight. There's a lot of energy there. I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
All right, you did support the troops. That's cool. Support the troops. What happens? So people give you $110. What happens?
Yeah, so we've carried this through from all of our campaigns. 2 copies go to you, and 3 copies go to the U.S. military via Operation Paperback. Wonderful
and cool. I got to learn how to do more of that kind of stuff. I never did that yet, and it seems like really worthwhile, and it's pretty cool. Drawn into the it's kind of like you get pictures of people receiving books, right? They're like, "Hey, thanks for the books," like that.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I mean, I figure if it helps out, if it's a two-way street, if it helps out them, if it gives them something to read, and if it helps bolster up the campaign numbers, like it's win-win, and there's no reason to not keep doing it.
All right, I'm going to think about it more seriously. I like it.
Sure.
Drawn into the book, even me?
Yeah, you can.
Adam Post?
Yeah, do it, man.
All right. Drawn into the book, $150.
Mm-hmm.
Plus you get the swag bag perk.
Yeah.
So it's really like $100 upgrade from the swag bag featured tier.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So you'll be drawn in, and you'll get the books and all the extra bonus stuff.
Not bad. $150, guys. Think about it. Drogas Blanco special.
Yeah.
But I know Blanco means white.
White drugs.
Drogas is drugs.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, man. Ever since the Gods Fear Me, we've had an $872 tier. That's kind of let's call it a loving homage to one of our favorite ex-comic skaters. And I'm going to keep it going. Every campaign, there's going to be an $872 tier.
What is that number? What's the representation for that?
I mean, like, we don't have to get like super into it, but basically that was the number that was held over my head when I wanted to step away from IndieCron.
Oh, okay. That was a whole like IndieCron drama thing.
Yeah. It was. Right. It was like middle of last year.
I know there was the drama with them, and it was ridiculous, and just all the drama stuff is absolutely ridiculous.
I agree.
It's unfortunate that we all survive on narratives, like to get people's attention and keep them engaged, because it's definitely like there's some reward going on with having silly drama. How long is your trailer, if you don't mind my asking?
It is 46 seconds. This is the final week trailer.
Let's do it. That's deep well. Deep well. Back deep well.
Boom.
I like it. I like my contribution at the end. Oops, I removed you accidentally. I'm adding you intentionally. I meant to remove that. Mike, very creative, very cool. You keep pushing, you keep doing. Past Master Dan, good to see you. How the hell are you?
Evening.
Past Master Dan has a lot of important things to say. Do not hold back tonight, Past Master Dan. I'm looking at your, whatever is that, missing link kind of look. Harry and the Hendersons kind of deal, whatever that
Harry
is.
And Hendersons, man.
Is it? Awesome. Yeah. I got to watch that again. We got to rewatch all the old movies, and we should do it tonight. No, I'm not like meth or something. But no, we should do it. We should watch it. Adam, is that corner art you stream art? Yeah. Oh, sorry to interrupt, Mike. Yes, sci-fi for me, TV. It is a GIF. It is the covers of College of the Dead. The variant. Yeah. That little cutesy pootsy GIF up there.
Nice.
Absolutely. Thank you for noticing. I'm glad to have that. You do resemble that. Oh, do you? That's kind of funny. All right. Is the devil a character? Good question, Brian. Brian's always got that commentary. Is the devil a character that strolls into town, or is he possibly a character we meet as an alternative role? Can you say? Must you not say?
No, okay, here's what I can say. You'll know who he is by the end of the first issue, and you'll have seen that he was in the book the whole time. Interesting.
All right, Brian, if you have any questions, you can ask. It's kind of funny. Yeah, it is funny. You didn't know that you could do that with StreamYard. You can do that with StreamYard, but you have to have the license fee. You got to pay them their license fee. It's like $25 a month or something like that, and then they give you a couple of extra customizable things and storing some, little commercials and things. You could do that, like a couple things, but that's the deal with that stuff. All right, Mike, do you have? I know you said you just wanted to come on for a few minutes. Do you have to go as well, or you want to chill for a bit, or what do you want to do? It's up to you, brother.
I can hang out a few more minutes, man.
All right, Mike, I'm going to show you my exciting little teaser trailer for The Mermaids, my new full-color comic book series. The book's completely done. Why? Why do the comic before you offer it? Why? Well, because I want my comics done before I offer them to anyone. I've been working on this, though, for a couple of years, even before Comicsgate. I worked with a very cool comic, Jim Salek, Spider-Man editor, who gave Todd McFarlane his big shot, actually. He helped me put the writer together with the artist and he helped me flesh out the world, and he started editing on it. He was phenomenal, great contributor. And then we brought Stefan Petruca in, who co-wrote it with MJ Negularia. It's a little hard for me to say her last name. Spanish, long name. And we used a character designer who went from my character designs. We fleshed this thing out like to the sky. It was really freaking amazing. We spent a lot of time like getting it going, and then finally it was like, all right, we got something really cool. So this is the teaser trailer to get people to sign up. It's at epicmermaids.com. I've got to get people to sign up to the mailing list. The mailing list is already doing really well.
Good.
But basically my little elevator pitch, and it's very little. It's an epic mermaid fantasy. It's Game of Thrones with mermaids. Shipping in October 2020, because I always ship. How's that for a short trailer?
I dig it, man. I dig it. I like what I'm seeing. I like the overall premise. You got me, man. I'll be picking it up.
I'm just trying to hit you with a vibe, my brother. Did the vibe hit you where the good Lord split you? No, that's the butt. But did the vibe hit you, not the butt part, but in a general good way?
Yeah, in the front part. Yeah, it definitely hit me.
In the front part. That was the part I was aiming for. So this is, there's College Day, Graduation Day. This is the Mermaids Project. Here we go. Bing, bang, boom. All right, we're going to go over this. Past Master Dan. Great promo. Past Master Dan, that's what I was looking for. That's the feedback we're looking for. That's how we get to #1. That's how we sell books and get people excited. It's Past Master Dan and Mike Murphy getting hit in all the right places. Definitely sign up. Mike, I freaking love making comics. I've been making, like, I love Comicsgate. Comicsgate, it's like a miraculous place.
It is.
That said, I'm fucking making comics for a long time prior to this. I love putting, like, to be able to collaborate with a creative team, to be able to come up with an idea and then just be like, well, I don't know, Jim Salker, what do you think? Or I don't know, Stefan, what do you think? Like, how would you do this? And then we kind of like work back and forth. Then you bring the artist in. Or sometimes the artist comes in first and the artist is doing stuff. And it's like, all right, that gives you a new idea. Oh, you know what, Adam, I used to work on this project and we did this with that. Or Adam, you said you want a Game of Thrones with mermaids. Do you want these guys killing each other left and right? I'm like, yes, I do. Kill them left and right. They're like, well, how much sex? Not that much. I don't want to have like sex all over the place.
Sure.
No, not on this thing. That's not what Mermaids is about. So but really it all takes shape when you work with a team. That's why I feel a little bad for the people that just, they work themselves only on making the book, and they like the writer, the artist, and the letters. It's amazing that people have all those skill sets, but you do miss out on being able to collaborate and just feel the excitement and the extra thing that it's like with Comicsgate. We all kind of get excited about each other's projects a little bit. Obviously, some more than others, whatever it is. Depends on your connections, your idea, how it resonates. But there's something bigger than like, the group of us that just starts to form. It's transcendent. You get a little bit of that when you collaborate. That's why I'm down to collaborate. Oh, wow. Past Master Dan has a business background in Comicsgate. He's doing everything right. Past Master Dan, thank you for that feedback. I think we all need to. We are doing things really right. I was having a great. My stream started late. I'm really glad you were available, but my stream started late because I was on for like almost 3 hours with Peter Cimetti on his channel. And we were talking about the industry and publishing and direct to consumer and all this kind of fun businessy stuff. So this is the Mermaid. Check it out. This is the Mermaids. There is a longer trailer, but let's just start with the short trailer for now. This is the cover artist for College of the Dead, as well as the cover artist now for the Mermaids, but also he's also the interior College of the Dead, but he's not on the interior for the Mermaids. This is the full cover. I don't know. It looks pretty good.
I dig it, man. Honestly, I dig it.
Right? Look at the girl. Like, yeah, she's hot. But it should be fun. And this is Jana with Idris. She's the one with the dagger is Jana with Idris. And the two of them, it's royalty, it's Game of Thrones, it's mermaids, it's daggers. They were to be married. And because of royalty problems, like the whole Romeo Capulet type of deal, they could not marry, and then Jana's like devastated, and then she's got to kind of overcome that. Very, very well written. Really, really amazed at my creative team. I had a very big hand in it, but I'm not going to say that I wrote all this stuff because I'm not taking credit away from my guys. They are freaking amazing. This was a character design by Jerry Gatrudia out of Indonesia, and he is how I started to really envision what it was that I wanted. So this is an example of like the collaboration thing. He wasn't satisfied with just doing character designs. Jerry wanted to also do this Muka-esque background stuff with all these crazy seashells and all this design. Like he really took it over the top.
Right.
You know, in some cases it was just like, hey, Jerry, give me a mermaid with 2 daggers. Like, who is she? I don't even, it doesn't matter. Just mermaid, 2 daggers, bang it out. Let's get this thing going. And he then could contribute. You know, he contributed like a lot to the basic character design. And sometimes there was more and there was story to the characters. I have 35 of these from Jerry. You know, this is, and then like about 15 of them that are color. But we're going to do 3 covers for this. It may go more. There's a reason why. It's a long story. But we're going to do this cover, and this cover. And then we're also going to do the making of. The making, oh man, I don't have that ready. Give me 1 second, Mike.
Yeah, I was digging some of those interiors, man.
Oh yeah. I want to show you the interiors. Let me just pull this up. The making of is still in the works. I use really good designers, and it's not because I'm so fancy schmancy. I'm just really fortunate to know a lot of people from having just been in comics for a while. So JJ Jackson does my book design, and she does my logo design. She did an amazing job on the logo, and it's also like a gang approach. Sackcraft helped on the logo. Jim Shooter helped on the logo. Like we had some very cool people working on this. Yeah, just because like JJ had questions, so you know, you send it to a friend. Like, well, what do you think of this? It's like kind of what we do in Comicsgate. But I don't know. I spent a couple of years getting close to working with those guys. As like very cool to be able to kind of utilize them and fall back on them a little bit. So that was the design. That's Fainine. That's her name, and she is in the comic. This is one of the interior pages. I'm very big on the 6 panels per page. I will do other projects that are not 6 panels per page. This project is 6 panels per page. Part of it was designing it so that it could also be published in multiple formats, physically, digitally, shared through social media. It was very carefully written and designed so that each panel stands alone from sort of a story perspective. So it could function as a comic strip, even if we wanted to. It was a little bit of, you know, with me, I get very passionate about possibilities, and I like to try to plan things in advance. So this is like the most highly planned thing that I wound up executing. So that was one page. This is Idris and Jana, and then this is Idris and a whole bunch of these other characters. But yeah, these mermaids are getting sabotaged on their way to go do something mermaidy. And this one is a shark mermaid. We have a shark mermaid. We got an octopus. We have more than one octopus mermaid. We got a lot of cool mermaid
equal opportunity.
We have mermaids of we have a couple of different races too, I think.
Nice.
We're not like when I say I think, it's like, you know, like they're fucking blue. Like I don't know, they're Bluican American. I mean, whatever that's supposed to be. What is Past Master Dan saying right now? I know he's saying something. Past Master Dan. Oh, Rankabot. Hey, sorry I didn't text you, Ranky. I told you I'd text you, and I effed you on this one, so sorry about that. I also effed you earlier because I was on Peter Sameti's channel. I didn't tell you. I told him I was going to do it. I don't like to not do what I say I'm going to do. Brian Blevins. Holy whatever. Isn't that cover great? Guess why that cover is great? Because my talent's great. Because my relationships are great. You respect the talent. You compensate the talent. And then you work with the colorist. And then there were problems actually with that cover. It was fixed by another friend of mine who's a comics publisher, who's an editor, who not actually in Comicsgate, but I showed it to him, and he's like, okay, here's one thing you missed. And he was so right. There was like some odd inking on her hand, too much black. We took it out in the color, but it's beautiful. The black and white is beautiful also. Brian Blevins, thank you for this, by the way. The last stream is just as good as this stream. Yes! We want to make the streams good. Peter Sameti's channel. Good to see you, Ranky. Ranky and I have a secret project. He has his own project. He and I have a secret project. We're going to blow you away with it. You might not like it because you may not be able to sit down for a week when we are done with you. Isn't that right, Rinkowitz? Not you, Mike. We'll be gentle with you, but the rest of you.
I was going to say.
Because you're here when I needed somebody to chat with, have a fun time with. Reasonable margins. There will be reasonable margins and potentially unreasonable margins. Let's face it. This is me we're dealing with. Did you hear about my margin controversy?
No, what's going on with the margins, man?
Well, margins is this. So here's the main problem. The main problem that I ran into was, unfortunately, this was a very successful book. Yes. What do I mean by very successful? Just in that it's the #1 Comicsgate campaign from book 1 to book 2 in terms of improvement.
Sure.
I got credit for 180% pop over book 2 to book 1. Even Ethan Van Sciver's Cyberfrog has not yet accomplished that, but neither has anything else. Sure. So in reality, it's really a 500% pop because this is 30 G's now, and the other one was $5,600.
Right.
Why did that happen? How did it happen? I did a whole video discussing it. That pissed off somebody who, it gets competitive in the drama, whatever. That upset someone who their campaign's not doing as well. Okay. And it was people related to the group Was Campaign, formerly known as War Campaign. So they were like, with this Adam Post guy, and then like trying to dig up old comics that I did more than 20 years ago. When we're like, look, a lot of people don't understand publishing, how it works. When Rankowitz is like, shh, don't tell the secret. Don't tell the secret. You want to sneak up on people? Me too. We'll sneak up on them. What up, friended? Next book, 50% more margins. You wouldn't even charge for these extra margins. Anyway, so long story short was, whoever it is, doesn't matter. People were like, oh, the margins on your books, like, oh, your square panels, it's too high. There's too much white space at the bottom. Could you make the panels big? All right, we'll make the panels bigger next time.
Sure.
Problem solved. If that will help all the people that don't think that it's nice. I have had rave feedback on this. People love it. People are sharing pictures. It was funny because you mail them out. I don't know if you feel this way, Mike Murphy. You publish comics. You like comics. You send comics out. Did you send comics out? You send comics out. People give you feedback on the first one. Have you sent 2 yet? 2 books out? Like, have you delivered 2 campaigns yet, or just the first?
I've gotten one. No, the second campaign will be God's Fair.
It hasn't shipped yet.
But right, I got.
That ain't you yet. So here's only from this vibe. I'm gonna just tell you the vibe.
Okay.
So this is the vibe. The vibe was book 1. I didn't expect all the pictures. So book 1, it was like, oh, that's nice. Somebody put up a picture. Like, oh, Adam, I got the comic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's great. College of the Dead, the football guy, whatever. And then I was like, oh, I got more pictures? Like, people put more pictures. I'm like, everybody that's buying these puts up pictures? So a bunch of people started putting up pictures. And they were like, all right, this is really exciting that people seem so enthusiastic they're getting their books. And they were happy they got their books. The second books I was sending out, I'm like, are people going to like the story? Are they going to, send pictures again? Or is that like when you first just do your first campaign? Are they going to like care enough to like be like, okay, yeah, I know I got it, but I backed it? Because frankly, I do back a lot of campaigns. I'm more enthusiastic about some than others. Yeah. So sometimes just like, I gave you money. I wanted to see you succeed, whoever you are. Talk about Mike Murphy's situation, but whatever. I back some people, and sometimes you don't even open the box, or you open up the box like 2 months later. Sure. Truthfully, that's reality. You want to support people any way you can. Sometimes you can put money into something that's just like, I want to see that number go. Right. If you want to do that, collegeofdead.com. You can always support it. Drawing art all day is hard. That's what Adam Friend has said. Yeah, don't draw art. Don't have other people draw art. Draw art, T-Bear. Draw pictures of art, T-Bear. Adam Post, I don't know about these other people, but I don't read books for their margins. Just saying. Oh, you don't? You might consider it.
Controversy.
Gaming or what? Okay, so here's what happened with the margin. So anyway, long story short was, not the margin. People started getting these books, but when I was sending out and doing all the fulfillment on book 2 myself, I used a fulfillment company who was part of the printing for the first book, but I mailed all these books myself, bagged, board, boxes, perfect condition, like everybody's getting what they're supposed to get. I found there was like one error I made where I sent like, this cover instead of this cover, because I have like 4 variants or whatever.
Sure.
It can get a little confusing sometimes. So, anyways, but like near perfection. As soon as somebody told me, I replaced the book. People love the book. I got really, really good feedback on the book. And you try to send your book to JJ Jackson and get her to compliment your story. She doesn't do that. She doesn't like compliment. She worked under Shooter. She worked with his stuff. I drop names a lot, but I'm just trying to give people a perspective of like, you got to understand your writing is good when your fans like it, but also like when professional editors read it and they're like, this is a really good story. I really like how you handled the subject matter. I've never seen it handled that way before. I was like, well, I didn't script all of it. It was stuff, but I did put it together. I'm really, really proud of it. So
sure.
When you get compliments from your fans, you're doing the right thing. When your fans are publishing copies of your book and it's not just a fluke, there are people that are excited because now you've got like, there's so many people that sent pictures. I got emails and thanks and comments on the campaign and on Twitter, on live streams. People are telling, I was on Ethan's live stream a couple days ago. Actually, yesterday and the day before, people are paying $5 to say, hey, Adam, I got the books, to pay him to say, I got the books.
Sure.
Eric Brand is paying $10 super chats. Adam Friended, send super chats. Why are you not sending super chats? You have money. Send it. But anyway, why is Adam saying digital? Oh, digital art is amazing. He doesn't mean PDFs. But anyway.
Digital's
he's working on character science. Yeah, digital is tremendous leverage for the artist. And
of course,
there's a conversation I have with all the talent. Like, I'm happy to have people do digital. Sometimes I want to people more to do traditional and be able to either own or market the artwork. And, it's a one-on-one conversation with all the talent. But Friended, what do you think of this? You have bummed? You like this? It's nice, right? There you go. Muka-esque. So, it's very cool that they like it. So this was designed, though, multi-purpose. It really was designed that it could serve multiple formats. And this was drawn the same way as College of the Dead Book 1. That was 2 panels per page. Why is this 2 panels per page? Because I'm a fucking genius, excuse the language. But like, I actually look, I experiment in a lot of formats. Friended. Oh, fix your margins. They're fixed, all right? They're fixed. I give it to JJ. She fixes it.
Did he just get your shine box you?
I know. He sent $5, so he can say whatever he wants for $5.
Okay.
Adam Friended says, son of a bitch, you dirty bastard. No, Adam Friended says, who actually, I really like him a lot. And we talk privately, and nobody knows that. Fix your margins, he says, $5. Because Adam Friended said so, not because the jealous was campaign guys, because Adam Friended said so, I will make the margins different. So it is written, so shall it be done.
All right.
You happy?
You did it, Adam. You made change. You spent $5 and you brought change.
Yeah, Friended. I respect Friended a lot, and
he's a good guy.
I know. Yeah, he actually is really good people. He's really good people. I'm gonna do a stream with him one day, but not really. I just say stuff like that. But this is like with format. So these books were originally used, not this one, but the prior book was used. This one was used digitally to promote College of the Dead. We wound up with 3,000 Facebook fans, but 3 fans of a web comic, and we also had a collegeofthedead.com that directed not to the campaign, but to a custom design web thing. You could click a panel, and it would take you to the next panel. It would save where you were from last time. It did all sorts of stuff. I dropped like a grand on that. It was just something I tried. So. But that doesn't really work. People can convert webcomic audiences into regular customers for digital and print, and you can do it. It's a whole different business model. It's very difficult. It started to become time consuming, and that is not why I was publishing comics. I publish in comics. I fucking love to publish comics. I've always published comics since I was 15. I'm fucking 50. I'm going to keep publishing comics. That's what I like to do. I love the collaboration and the sense of getting the book out. And then sometimes you actually make money doing this nonsense, but that I like too. But so we did it digital. So I wanted to try this print version. Nobody had done this. Nobody I knew had done this. I know a lot of people. I've made a lot of books. Even I've never done this before. I'm like, hey, this is cool. I could do this. And then gaming or whatnot threw me $10. Thank you. Thank you for that. But you know what? You asked the question before, but I think I already answered it. I didn't get to see it. By the way, my first book I bought from you, so I'm not complaining, just wondering. Oh, you were wondering about also the panel. Well, this is perfect timing because we're talking about the panels right now. We're talking about it. We're discussing it. It's fantastic. So there was that format that it served a digital format. It could be shared by JPEG. I had a friend who's in publishing, but he's very busy. Us guys in publishing, we don't really have time to read each other's stuff. So that's another advantage. Like I was able to send like even via email some of the panels, some of these panels. And my friend Kirk, he didn't have time to read it. I'm like, will you read this damn thing? Tell me if you like it, because I think I like it. I think it's actually kind of great. And he didn't have time to read it. So I started sending him the panels. And I'm like, there, now you read it. Because you click on a JPEG, you're stuck reading the damn thing, whether you like it or not. So you get more exposure for the content when you can share it in multiple formats.
Sure.
All experimentation. Now, also this making of book. It's another unique thing. It's full script, because my guys write full script. And it's layouts. It's 100 pages. Wow, $3, $5 from Ringabot. Well, we have some evil plans we're doing. Oh, $5 to not fix your margins. There you go. In your face, friended, if that is your real name. I'm not even going to say if it is or it isn't. Tony said the best is Vicky saying I didn't give it to a longer page count. Oh, I didn't. Okay. If you made the panels bigger, it would be either the same page count. Yeah, she's a little funny. She was blown away. That girl, Vicky, was blown away by Ethan Van Sciver's top hat, because they had a conversation when he was wearing a top hat. She was trying to catch him on coins. The top hat's like, you cannot argue. Oh, I should get a top hat. But you cannot argue with somebody with a top hat. So This is like format. By the time I'm getting to this is like format number 3 of this repurposed content. And then I'm doing this art book. And the art book is 1 panel per page. And this is format. People fucking love it. They like this book better than the regular book, a lot of people. It's not a huge seller, but it is a seller. And people like it. And I like making them. It's not appropriate. It's probably not appropriate for the Mermaid, just the way it was executed. It just doesn't look, I don't know. I have to look at it again. Ethan the other day was like, why don't you just make them full bleed? I'm like, I don't really like it. I mean, I'll consider making it full bleed, I guess. But it's just not the way we designed it. So it's not really what I was looking for, but maybe we'll try it. But anyway, this one's 260 pages. It's another book. I have to raise the price of this because the international shipping is freaking outrageous. Mm-hmm. What am I doing? Let me change this back to this. Boom, bing, bangy, boom. So, when you publish, you look at repurposing content. You consider different formats. You need to experiment, or you don't publish 1,000 comics. You publish 3 comics, and then you say, Jesus, this didn't work out. I got to go out of business. This is not going to work. So publishing, it is experimentation. It's important to think about. And the other thing, too, is I'm not comfortable the way these guys are comfortable working. I'm not comfortable with, well, here's my cover. Here's 3 pages. I'm going to try to get, the maximum dollar out of this, and then I will ship it to you sometime next year. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't like it. It's not worth it to me because, like, even this campaign, by the way, epicmermaids.com. I better see your name on there, friended. I better see your name on there, Murphy. You know who you are. I better see your name on there, past master, Rankabot combination, GT gaming. You got to sign up, epicmermaids.com, and tell y'all's friends, epicmermaids.com/Adam .co. No, just epicmermaids.com. That will get you on the mailing list. Don't spend any money on that. Put it into super chats. We'll put 3 more fake email addresses on there. Let's get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. No, the numbers on the Mermaids, I don't know if you did do pre-launch stuff, Mike, but the numbers on the pre-launch page, even with recent attacks and drama that prevented me from promoting as I might have liked to do is it's almost twice where I was at with, all right, so College of the Dead graduation day, not even the first College of the Dead, College of the Dead graduation day had less email addresses in 5 weeks than I have in 3 days.
Congratulations.
Does that make me fancy? It makes me fancy somewhat. It's not like a billion names or anything. It's more than 100. It's more than I thought I'd have. Not because we don't deserve it, just because like I don't even know why we've had. I mean, I let people know, but you ship the books, you deliver the books. You don't just promise the books. It's so freaking crucial. And I'm also going to have printed in advance, not the whole book, but people will say, I like to have stuff in hand rather than make promises. Gaming is signed up. Thank you for that. And then what happens when we're signed up is when we launch it the first day, we're able to like get a little more activity the first day. It does help day one. It does help a lot. It's really appreciated. Brian Blevins, the famous guy who does Pop X with Niall. Maybe we get away from them. Work with me, Brian. You, me, Mike Murphy will take over the fucking world. Will you offer a poster or a print of that third picture? That is the kind of question I need to hear. When you say third picture, are you talking about this picture? This gorgeous picture? That's the third one. Brian, is that the mermaid should be topless? I have a topless listen, you sick bastard. I actually do have a topless version of this image, but I don't think I'm going to publish it. I will send it to you, friend, you sick motherfucker. Brian, you think that's the coolest of the three? Type 2
it's a
for
very
yes
nice piece.
And 1 for no. No. I like it a lot too. And I have like 15 of these. This is one of the best. We have several of these. JJ said it was really, really good too. I'm like, I like the other ones. And she's like, don't you like this one? I'm like, yeah, actually, I really love this one. That's why I kept spending more and more. I was only supposed to do like 5 characters. I'm like, I just need 5 mermaid characters. I need them bad. Let's do. But then people kept turning in great work. That's the other part of collaboration. Hands down. Hands down, baby. Hail Postman. What up, crackhead? You know I love you, brother. You're promoting CG left, right, center. You're awesome. This is an answer to a question that I asked. I don't remember the question. So I appreciate the answer, and I'm sure it was very supportive.
Okay.
Well, his answer was 1. I don't remember what my question was.
Okay.
If you have 15 like this, maybe you do trading cards. Brian, you're right. Should I really do trading cards? Do it as you're doing 7 trading cards. They're very reasonable to print, but they're not free to print.
No, it's going to be an investment. But again, for the swag bag, like I really wanted to go all out with this campaign.
It's just hard. Like, cause when we spend X, we need to know within as close as possible what the Y value is to the consumer.
Right.
So we have to see like I'm considering secret. Don't tell anybody, Mike. Definitely don't tell Past Master Dan or Adam Friended. But I am thinking about doing a collector's box. And I've been in touch with like 3 different printers, but my main focus is Transcontinental Printing, who prints Cyberfrog, not the covers, but they print the interiors and they print like pretty much all the major comics. They have their own printing plant for making specialty gift boxes. So not Ethan's executive honeycomb super duper box, because that one's a minimum of 1,000 pieces. There are $6 each. I don't mind spending $6 each, but I don't like the minimum of 1,000. It bothers me. It makes me not comfortable. But I also I think we could cover it, but I don't like that it's from China and it's like 90 to 120 days. Again, I'm not into that 90 to 120 days. Not that I'm bragging. It's just I'm a fucking publisher. I put stuff out, baby. So I have College of the Dead 3 in the works. We have this Mermaids in the works. I have G.I. Jackrabbits in the works. Need a new artist. Unfortunately, wish I didn't, but it's not clicking. When it doesn't work, you have to stop and start over again.
Sure. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
I know it's rough, brother. But hey, I'm healthy. we've got this art. This is going. This is zippity zapping and zooming. And wait, what is this? Maybe a fishbowl box. Oh. Yeah, guys, we have to have a stream to talk about what the theme of my collector box will be. A tackle box. Catch these mermaids. We're starting to get there. We're very close. We're not there, but we're close. So I'm talking to these guys. They have their own printing plant. They have 23 printing plants, something transcontinental. It's amazing. It's a huge operation. Yeah. They can do chromium covers. It's just that the way that Cyberfrog is printed, they use the covers are from a different printer, and it makes a lot of sense. And what they do is fantastic. I don't have that relationship, but I have a relationship with Transcontinental from the past and rekindling from the present. Anyway, they do high-end gift boxes. They also print hardcovers. They can do Ethan's box if we want them to. And we were discussing it a bit. I just think it's like, for my first one, it's a little bit too high end, and I don't want to be that expensive. Sure. I don't want to charge anything for the box. I want it to just be like, if you buy 4 or 5 books, you get the box included. But they can do a gorgeous, high quality, full color box, printed full color inside, full color outside, UV coated. We want maybe even, and this would be like a little bit of like, can you do this, Ethan Van Sciver? Embossed. Printed image on it, like they would pop out. So they could emboss it, and like that would add some money to it. But I don't know. So I'm talking with them, but they already do this. They did something similar for Zenoscope, not as high end, but it was like a tray kind of box, printed one side. So anyway, yeah, like you got to put stuff out. You can't have 3-month and 6-month and 9-month turnarounds. If you're a publisher, if you're an artist, if you're going to do like, I'm going to do 1 book a year, I want to sell 6 figures. Like I'll sell 6 figures. College of the Dead has done 30,000 plus now. We've got another 40,000 in extra printed comics, which isn't even that many. It's just like a couple, like 2,000 or something. We have a second chance campaign coming. I'm going to offer College of the Dead backlist on this campaign. But I'm going to offer it on another campaign that'll come out probably before then as well. So we're going to sell books. We're going to generate money. It's important to sell books. It's more important to deliver a product that your customers like, deliver it when it's promised. If you get feedback and people are like, hey, I really liked when it was black and white. I get that. You like bookmarks? I do. I mean, they're not expensive.
Yeah.
Bottom placeholder. Yeah. A dagger bookmark as a placeholder, or a mermaid tail, a die-cut mermaid tail.
I like the mermaid tail. That's my vote.
Well, I don't even work. I just write down. I didn't even write it down yet, but I just write down stuff the chat says. The chat came up with College of the Dead Spring Break, the next title,
right?
And it's already written and already all laid out, 6-pound pages. We'll work on the margins a little bit. We could do that for color. But anyways, yeah, we can do a collector box. It's going to look really, really cool. It'll be a little different than Ethan's, but of course, Ethan's supposed to be the fanciest guy in town. We got to do it that way. That's the way it's supposed to be. He's the #1 campaign. But I will deliver. My box might ship before his box, to be frank with you. I like to be Adam. Sometimes I like to be other things as well, but I have to be frank with you right now, Mike.
Okay.
Frank.
I'll still be Mike.
You be Mike, I'll be Frank, Adam will be friended. Mm-hmm. I have a sheet of acid for his bookmarks. What the fuck is he even talking about? He's high. Friended is high right now. He gets high. He's from California. But in California.
I've heard that about Californians.
The cool guys get hot.
Yeah. Dan
Frege gets high too. I'm going to be on with Frege tomorrow at 3:30, by the way, if you want to catch that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Really awesome.
Great energy. That's why I was saying, like, I care about College of Dead graduation. I care about my customers. I care about backers, feedback. I care about people in CG. I was so interested in him being successful with his campaign because what he adds is so special. And I just didn't know if he was going to promote other people or not. And he does. So he just does do that. He supports people, which is fantastic. Awesome. Mermaid tail bookmark poking out at the bottom or maybe the top, whichever direction she likes to go. Hey,
whatever
it's her,
floats your boat, man.
her body, her choice.
Right.
She can go wherever she wants with it. But anyways, we can do that. We can ship a box by October, maybe even sooner. As promised, collector's box, effing looking gorgeous. And I can offer backlist to College of Dead. And that's just me getting started in this game.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I first started publishing, it was like I completely didn't know what I was doing at 16, 15, 16. And then I learned a little as I go, and then you hire other people and then you collaborate. And then you find out some of the harsh realities of publishing where it's like crowdfunding is amazing. It's much like, God forbid, if your campaign doesn't do the number you need, like what happened to you with Samurai and Dinosaurs, you were able to come back and hit it, make it work. You weren't trying to pay your rent. You weren't trying to pay, for food. You weren't having employees whose lives depended on you being able to pay them every Friday. No fucking joke. The check needs to be there. So you didn't design we don't have that demand on us. We also, as publishers selling to comic stores, the publishers still don't have the flexibility of like, oh, well, we have a $50 tier. It's our feature tier. We have a collector's box of issue number 1, or even issue number 2. And Diamond doesn't let you do that kind of stuff, much less capture all the retail from that. Like, oh, well, I get 90% of that? Thank you, Indiegogo. Like, no, yes, in Indiegogo, not so much working with comic book stores. They have to make a profit to pay their bill. So they pay you less, and then you don't hit scale. You've got to hit your budget numbers. It isn't like, oh, well, I kind of didn't hit my budget. Oh, well, I'll just make it on the next one. I'm cool. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that. The numbers are hardcore. That's why, like, I get after guys sometimes. Yeah, we're going to see Mike Murphy's promo right now. Thank you for reminding me. Well, let's deep well it up. That's why, like, when you're doing the numbers, see, Passmaster Dan's awesome. He's running the show over here.
We so much, Passmaster.
Yeah, deep well, and let me make sure I get the link in the description. Friended, if you're a mod, Vile Ned, what happened to Adam's couch? It's behind the panels, brother. It's all behind the panels. It's in the margins. Yeah, this was just an easier setup for me, and I've been streaming for a long time, so there you have it.
I do kind of miss the couch a little bit.
Everybody misses the couch. I got to do the curtains. There was a really funny, like, I made a joke about something, and about being marginalized. And, I'll have to find it. But anyway, let's focus on Deep Well. So one more Deep Well promo, and then let's play Deep Well one more time. Thank you, Passmaster Dan. I got to be a better host. I mean, come on. 39-34. We're getting up there. Deep Well, back it now. I like it. I like the trailer, like the energy. You also do deliver.
I do.
And you're going to keep this in demand, hopefully a while. Hail Dale. Is Dale here? Oh, all right. There you go. Deep Well Dale. Oh, Deadwood Dale. Yeah, he says, hello, my name is Dale. Oh, I like when Deadwood Dale says that. Yeah. Deadwood, you have the link too, brother, if you want to jump in. It's late for you and stuff. We show your promo. That's me sharing the link. Mm-hmm. You like the music. I like the music too. The music is a really nice touch.
Thank you.
The music is cool.
Yeah, like, the whole... One of my favorite parts of running these campaigns has kind of become putting together the trailers, Like, I like just sitting down and, like, sifting through all the royalty-free tracks and, like, finding something that works just right.
I should do that. There's a lot of cool music. But you know what? Ted Zagaro does my trailer. How is Ted... Now, that was just a tiny little, like, bit of a piece of a piece of a bit of a piece.
Yeah,
but how awesome is Ted Zagaro? Like, I told him I want it to be epic. He's like, I get what you're going for. He's like, oh, okay, Game of Thrones. He's like, all right, let me work on something for you. And then he comes back with something fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it works, man.
And it's like, I'm like, how do you do that? And you haven't even you will, but you haven't seen the whole thing yet. I figure like let me just show like a little bit of the trailer, like on this modified version for just introducing the sign up, and then like the full trailer, as time goes on. But I love his work. We are really lucky to have Ted Zagaro in Comicsgate. Nobody produces video editing. He does it professionally. He works on movies and stuff. He's just goofing around, like helping us to up our games. For the people that can afford his fee, but his fee should be 10 times what it is. Brian Blevins sends nice things to me, so let's focus on it. Brian Blevins says, Adam Post is crazy that you have literally been everywhere online the past week. I have been around a bit, but I haven't really been on enough streams. I got to get around more. I also like how you just took the razzing from your friends. They went too long. They did. They razzified me. Well, Friended knows not to start in with me. Friended is good. He's like, he doesn't need me right now with this. Fred is like, he'll tell you what you need to know when you need to know it from his, point of view, limited. Right. But no, he will. He knows his YouTube stuff and the social media stuff really, really well. But Brendan's also like, he's like, just you need to talk. Give me a call. I got you, brother. I got you. So, yeah, it went on too long, but I love how you handle it. Yeah, people say what they got to say. The thing is, narratives are the fuel of what it is that we do in social media. And I will know a little bit better because I was surprised that like if something kind of good happens, if Ethan says something to compliment me, if it appears that like I'm moving into sort of a different strata in CG, Ethan never before said, and I definitely heard him when he said it, that he's like, well, Adam, you're next. I'm really proud of you. And then he was saying like, oh, your next campaign is going to do $100,000. And I was like, oh, that's fantastic. And, thank you for saying so. And I know when you say it, it's like, so it shall be done, because Ethan knows his stuff. He's familiar, like with what we're doing. He'll say he's dumb. He's far from dumb. He's not good with numbers off the top of his head, but pencil to paper, like, he figures stuff out. He's very good at estimating what things are going to do, but also he has tremendous influence. And if Ethan decides like, all right, you can be in the group, the 6-figure group. I'd like you to be there. You've got to kind of do your own campaign. But, as he said, he has dragged certain campaigns from 30,000 to 100,000, like all on his own power. He doesn't need to do that, but even just to be in Ethan's regular cycle, that's up to Ethan if he's going to put you in regular cycle. But also, we all, it's a community of influencers, Comicsgate as well. So it's like we all kind of get the message, like, all right, let's do something with this and make it happen and get serious. But the thing too with me is like I appreciate the support, appreciate the help. I'm a publisher. I'm going to publish, and I'm going to hit my numbers. And everyone's going to get paid, and the books are going to look great. And if, we do a book and some people are like, well, I don't really like this, but I like this. But it's like, as long as the readers like it, that's what's important. But I work with great people. It's very easy for me to talk to people. I've already had the conversations about like, well, what do you think about, sizing this like this and that with this and with that? Like, we've already discussed it. It's all in the works.
What I dig about you, Adam, is like you've got the creative stuff down. I know you enjoy like playing in the creative sandbox, but you're really good on the business end of things and the logistics, and you're good at future proofing your books.
Oh, give me first of all, I think you're very astute to notice how cool I am. But let me also ask you this: by future proofing, what do you mean by that?
Yeah. Well, like you were just saying about the way that you choose to format and publish books, how you're not only able to either, start from digital, go into print, or vice versa, or, like you're able to publish it single panel style, you're able to put it out oversized or, smaller pocketbook editions. Like you're good at thinking through getting the most out of a single product.
A little bit. It can be an absurdity, and that's a little bit of that can be to a detriment. So it was probably a little bit to an absurdity with designing some of the stuff but thank you for that. But it's true. Like it's also like the design and the repurposing of the content, the work in progress stuff to me, the best fun I have is seeing like script pages come in and then seeing the script from Stefan go to Javier, who's penciling it, and then to see like the feedback from between Stefan and Javier. I'm CC'd on that and I'm overseeing it, and I'll step in if I feel like I'm needed. But there's a great working relationship, and I get to see like stuff take shape and really take form. And the way we wrote one of the characters, her name is Haley, in College of Dead Spring Break is amazing. Stefan's characterization, his character development is just like, she feels like a real person, and she's that exciting, pretty, fun girl that's like devil may care kind of person that us guys, like we kind of all know. Sure. But it really felt like she was a real person. I really felt like I was like, I'd really like to meet her. Like I've really not gotten that from scripts before, whereas like it transcended the page in such a meaningful way. I was like, this is freaking amazing. And so I'm doing College of the Dead, so I can execute on it and I can see what the thing looks like at book 3, but I'm sure people are going to love it. And really, I would be shocked if it didn't do better than book 2. We're also going to be doing that's the other thing with delivering. Like, look at this. Like thank you guys really for the support. Thank you guys for backing the campaign. Thank you for signing up for the email list and sharing the campaign out. It is a massive, massive help. It just puts so much more life in all of this. But of course, I'm going to do more after we do another title or two. Then like you publish the sequel from the other title, it all supports itself. It's not a universe, but universes of titles where there are like, you get that build. And then the audience for the Mermaids, it doesn't have to be the same audience as zombies. Plenty of people have straight up told me like, look, I'm not interested in zombies. I think you're cool as fuck. I'll buy your book. And then I have people be like, I like you and I want to follow you. I'm following your YouTube, your Twitter, but I'm really not into zombies. I'm not going to buy it. I had somebody say like they were offended by this cover, and they're like, look, that goes too far when she's actually being, ripped apart like on the screen. Like that's not cool. And I'm like, hey, I'm sorry about that. You felt that way. Like you do tell people that. But and I also did say like, well, we do have another cover. We have the other cover with the graduation cover if you want to check that out. Right. So it's like, well, there is another thing you can buy if you want to buy something. You don't have to. And people appreciate it. It's well received. So, but yeah, I mean, look, I publish comics, so I do have to think about different formats like that. I have to see, what works, what resonates with people. How do I know if people are going to want to buy this making of book? How am I supposed to know? People don't even know what the hell it is because it's not something people normally make.
Sure.
It's not like, well, you bought that making of book from John Malin. Would you like the Adam Post one? Like, no, there's only the Adam Post one. So you're in Comicsgate and you want to see a really well-written script with incredibly large panel margins, but a really well-written script turn into a well-laid out script and then read a book that you're like, when you put it together, like, hey, it's a solid book. Like this is how it was done. And we have 2 of them. It's on the campaign. I'm calling them ash cans. We're changing that to making of because it really is more of a making of. One of my friends talked me into calling it an ash can. Who doesn't really know what an ash can is. And
yeah,
I kind of looked at it and I'm like, well, it's not really what we mean by ash can. So we're going to call it making of. In fact, Mike, you have to let me do this when I share this to you. Guys, take a look at this. This isn't the final, but we're working on the making of book for the Mermaids. And because my designers are brilliant, they're like, hey, Adam, like this is JJ. She's like, Adam, you don't have to do a black and white cover. For the making of book, like you have color, you can just use color. Look at this logo.
Yeah,
this is not like a banged out logo. This isn't a fucking font. This is beautiful custom designed logo. And there was input from like a couple of other major comics professionals to put this together. It's not a braggity brag thing. It's like, I fucking love how it came out. And the reason it says Adam Post at the top is because Jim Salicrup was on me for about a year where he's like, when you publish, it's got to say Adam Post. I'm like, what do you mean, Jim? He's like, no, well, you have a person, you got to put your personality into it. And he's like, so we've known each other for a while. So he's like, you got to do that. You got something like that. You have a personality for it. So, he worked with Stan Lee. So he's like, you got to, do that. Like, let people know that you came up with this and it's your thing. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
I was going to say the John Carpenter school of logic.
Yeah, exactly. Like, put your name on it in big letters. People are like, who the fuck's that? Like, you start to find out after a while. But JJ designed this today. This mermaid iconic element, and the number. This is very similar to the College of the Dead. This one, but I really like this take on it, and we're going to do some other minor changes. But this was her idea to take the design element, because we're going to have one for each of the books. So there's book 1 says 1. Now we updated it. Book 2 says 2. Obviously 3 will say 3. But we can do the same making of series for the mermaids.
Sure.
How freaking cool is that?
It's
I love it,
format, man.
Right?
You've got it down.
And you do these extra touches. It's like, it's not that hard. You do the extra touch, and it's fun. It's good. It turns out to be better stuff. So the word sexual, you got my attention. A trifecta of textual. Oh no, it's not sexual. It's textual. Textual realizations. Yes, there's a lot of text realizations going on. There's at least 3. Well said. If not 4, if you include the icon as some sort of a text-related element, but I guess it's not. It's a visual element. It's not text-related. College of the Dead, it's done really well. I can't thank people enough for supporting it. I really appreciated it, because I've been on, big channels or whatever it was, but the first College of the Dead, it is a really well-written book. You will absolutely love the panel layout, because it's 2 panels per page. There are barely any margins. I mean, Mike, people really couldn't tell that, like, people don't understand what an aspect ratio is. Like,
right.
I mean, there are not a lot of ways that these dimensions could appear on a 6 5/8 by 10 1/4 or my format, which is slightly off. I like 7 by 10. Again, it's an aesthetic choice. It's a little shorter and it's a little wider. But in any event, it's the same as book 1. It's like you can kind of figure out that's like how it's gonna look. So, this book only did $10,600 over 8.5 months or so. I was on a bunch of channels. That is not a lot of money to do. So I knew, as far as me working with Comicsgate, they might have still been welcome, but I should not be welcome if I can't at least do $25,000 on this campaign. You can listen to what Ethan says. He's made it pretty clear. He said, like, look, people on our campaigns, it's like a pitch. He's explaining, and people are listening. People in comics are listening. Hey, if you're doing Comicsgate, initially we started off in 2018. We were doing this and that. And then people do color books, and then they tend to do 25. And then now on average, they're doing around 35. And some people are doing better. It's like, well, you got to be in those numbers, or you cannot be on those shows, because you're either proof of concept, or you're proof of concept that it does not fucking work. That said, were some of my projects limited because I had chosen, like, this has been my creative development for a long time. I've been wanting to put these books out for a long time. Yes, doing a zombie book like this, it's not the most marketable thing in Comicsgate. One of the most marketable things in Comicsgate is a perfect example of it is Scott and Optimus and Piper's Peregrine. Yeah, which Peregrine. Truthfully is I always have problems with the title. It's not a word I'm familiar with, but it's a female sexy superhero. You do a female sexy superhero and you offer it in Comicsgate, you're going to do 100% more of than you otherwise would have done. Right. You just are. Right. It's a great genre to do. So why don't I just do that? Well, I actually do have something like that in development. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm not abandoning the people. I've had people ask me, like, is this going to be an ongoing series? Like, yes, I'm going to keep making at least 2 a year of these. I'm going to keep comping and taking care of my creative team. You get resources. Part of publishing comics, and you learn this too, Mike, you're not just putting books out and you make money that day and like, oh, do we make money today or lose money today? It matters with paying your bills, taking care of people. But over time, you gain resources. My colorist who did this is because I was friendly with Scott, who's doing Peregrine, and it's Farah Nuramzilla, I think is what we say her name. I've given her a lot of work. I'm giving her more work. I'm utilizing her on other stuff. I'm utilizing her. She's recoloring some Adam Hughes stuff for me. It's actually finished now. That is better than anything else we're publishing in Comicsgate. No disrespect to anyone else, but it's fucking Adam Hughes. And, it's incredibly good work. It's fantastic. And it wasn't just because of Farah's coloring. She was following Adam's work. I'll show you one. She was following Adam's work. But also she was under my direction, but also the direction of Kirk Lindo, who inked some of Adam's work, and we've still stayed friendly for years. He used to be in my studio, used to help run the place. He used to really run the place for me, actually. But okay, that's the wrong one. I'll find it. But all right, I'll show the wrong one. This isn't even the best one. Will this open this way? Nope. That's the wrong one. All right. She really is fantastic, but this is the right one. She's better under that direction. She's not as good as she delivers. And I'm not denigrating her. She's a very, very talented person. But when you get amazing art direction from like the basis of Adam Hughes to work from, and then you have management by Kirk Lindo, all of a sudden, and a little bit of Adam Post, but mostly Adam Hughes and Kirk Lindo, you get better work.
Right.
So it's like you really get some good stuff. This is one of the 8 covers of mine that I own of Adam Hughes's that we published originally through Spoof Comics. He's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing. It's like he's miraculous. Right. So, like, I'm not going to not put this book out, and I've got like 7 more of these covers that we've been doing over the last 6 months. I'm not going to not put that book out so I can ship Mermaids like in March and keep the money or whatever. It's like, who cares? But the point is, by publishing College of the Dead, that's where Javier came from. Did he add value here? I mean, that's a decent cover. This is a pretty good cover. This is a fantastic cover. The coloring is by this lady, Esther, I forget her last name. She started with us through an agent, but also I met her because I was working on College of the Dead, and I was like, hey, can I have a colorist for the Mermaids? And he put us together. She did beautiful work. JJ is also a colorist, JJ Jackson. She touched this up. She's the one that was pushing me to utilize this image. She's like, the other covers are good. She's like, but this is, it really gets you curious about the world. And I was like, oh, all right, good. We'll definitely at least do one then. And and we picked this one. But she did some work on it as well. But you can't, the CG people are fantastic, and you can get so much help from so many of them promotionally, production ideas, stuff like that. But your long-term creative relationships, the people that you collaborate with, and before you know it, it's like 6 months, and then it's a year, and then it's 2 years, and then it's like, hey, I know that this person's really good at art direction for this and such. Hey, can you look at this? Like you do not develop contacts and relationships with important creative talent unless you hire people and you do stuff. Chris Renkowitz, who we do have a secret project that we're working on beyond comics, he and I are going to do something together. I would not have known who the F he was, and he wouldn't have known me if it wasn't that he was in my studio 25 years ago.
Sure.
And we paid him more than Marvel's studio pay, apparently. We took really good care of him. I just have him in tell old studio stories. But anyway, he's a major talent. We're going to see his book soon, but he's made video games and other like toys, like a variety of high-end stuff, and he's connected to a lot of great people. So that's how I'm able to, just through the network, through the relationships, you're able to do that much more. Right. So that's why I encourage people, know your numbers, get good at being careful about what you're doing. You got to know how much stuff costs. You got to be right. You can make mistakes, but you got to be careful with that stuff. Put a book out. Don't worry about getting rich. If you do it as a side project, it's like, I just want to bang out one a year and I'd like to make 200 grand if I can. Or it's like, all right, fine. But, if you're doing it in a disciplined way, you can really build something. It does not take that long.
Right.
I'll have 3 or maybe by a year from now, I'll have probably 4 ongoing series that are at least at this level or better. I just keep getting better. So probably, I guess, a little bit better, even bigger margins if possible. But no, it'll get better and better. The covers will be better. The gift boxes, specialty covers. Transcontinental's been printing for Marvel and DC for like more than 20 years. You think they don't know how to make a fucking chromium cover? Or they know how to do this shit. They can make a fucking chromium collector's box. I'm talking to them about all this stuff. I need to see. That's where, Mike, when you look at the numbers, we can't do such and such. But you know what? We could. Oh, good, Chris. Call it like a madman, brother. Send it to me to look at I'll give you feedback if you want. Tyler, I've been seeing people on Twitter complaining about the size of the panels of College of the Dead. It's really odd. It's not too different from the first book. No, it's not different. It's not. Of course it's odd. I'm fucking odd. It's a zombie. There's no real zombies.
Yeah, if you're at like the starting point, like if this is your first book out the gate, the best advice I can offer is give yourself, like John Malin says, give yourself a 5-year plan. Our starting point when we jumped into CG was we just wanted Samurai and Dinosaurs to be a success. And now that it was, we're slowly planning on doing 2 to 3 books a year. Like this year we're doing 2.
You have to pace yourself. I will say one thing, and I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Here's my old man shit I'm going to fucking throw at you.
Okay.
If you're not doing a sequel, it makes it much harder. Look, frontless, backlist. Every publisher, their goal is to break even and then sometimes have a hit.
Sure.
Not like self-published artists.
Mm-hmm.
They're important. They're valid. Their lives matter. It's not fucking publishing. Fucking publishing is a fucking hit business. It's always been a fucking hit business. It'll always fucking be a hit business.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan has a hit. Absolutely with Cyberfrog. It's not a question. John has a hit with Graveyard Shifts. Not a fucking question. Mike Miller might not have a hit with Lone Star. Hopefully he does well with 3. He did deliver on 2. Whatever.
Yeah.
Publishing is a fucking hit business. Mm-hmm. So if you have a hit, you have a hit. Until you have a hit, you have to you do have to feel around a little bit. Sure. But sequels are so important. I'm the one who's been pushing for sequel for months. A few months ago, I did a video about Secrets of Comics Gate Network or something in that series of videos I was doing. And I mentioned we have to do sequels. Sequels are important. It's and guess what? I have the most improved sequel. Why? Because I'm fucking focused on it.
Sure.
So I'm not the only one doing sequels, but the point is if you do Samurai and Dinosaurs 2 you're going to do more than book 1 did. Mm-hmm. Every time you try a new concept, you are building a new audience. Right. You will get people that love you and appreciate you, and they'll buy whatever you're doing, sort of. But people, they like the ongoing titles. It's what we're used to in comics. Sure. And Ethan has a fucking hit. So he has people that will throw money at him for Cyberfrog with anything that's Cyberfrog related. They're excited to buy Cyberfrog towels, toys, anything he can make. They're excited to buy, not really the coins as much, but almost anything. And he has to test too and see what works. Mm-hmm. He's going to do phenomenal because he's already got his hit established. But that's so unusual. Until you get a hit, that is his spawn. Sure. But until you get your hit established, you want to look at projects as much as you can in terms of building a franchise of, all right, I know it's going to cost me X to make this book. I know my break even is whatever on top of that X, what's going to cost you to make that damn thing. And then if you can get that book out and then print some extras so that mm-hmm. you have backstock to sell in demand, and then on a backlist and other campaigns, you will always drive new interest in a title as a sequel and then the backlist. Because that's the other thing with publishing is it's front list, but it's also backlist. College of the Dead book 1 sold more. I beat the sales by twice, more than double. We had 100 backers on the first College of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
On the second College of the Dead, we had whatever 400 backers or something, but we had 200 backers, 220 or whatever, but over 200 backers who bought College of the Dead 1 when the campaign ended. Right. So when the campaign ended, I sold twice as many as the first book again. It's that lucrative. Plus, I make these making of books and the fucking art book. It's like a third of that 30,000 revenue is backlist.
Right.
And I didn't even have as many SKUs. I didn't have as many different products and variants on book 1 as I had on 2. We probably could have sold like another 20% of the revenue if I had multiple SKUs, because there are people that are just like, yeah, I want everything. I want this. I want that.
Right. Yeah. Doing our leftovers campaign on Samurai and Dinosaurs, the first printing leftovers campaign, like there are so many people who are just catching up now and being like, I missed out the first time, I want in. And it's great. You gotta have back stock to sell, like you said, on like in demand, or just do a leftovers campaign. It's essential if you're trying.
Good night, Past Master. Sorry to interrupt. Just wanted to good night, Past Master Dan. Yeah, the second offering, the second chance campaign, it's a big opportunity. You have to think through these formats. Right. I learned this stuff. Like that's why I talk to people. I'm not trying to talk down to people. When I say, well, but I did this with Jim Salicrup, it's like, yeah, I fucking did do that. Like, why is this book called The Mermaids? Why isn't it called something else? Well, it is about a war with mermaids. So it was going to be called War of the Mermaids. And Jim Salicrup said, just call it The Mermaids.
Sure.
I was like, really? What about the war part? He's like, you don't need that. Hey, good night, Chris. Talk to you soon, brother. We'll catch up again soon.
Later, man.
And thanks for the super chats, bro. Jim said that. Jim is also the same guy that gave Todd McFarlane his shot. And he's been around a lot of talent. So, like, I do have a high regard of what he says. And people who've accomplished things, I do put a lot of weight to what they say. Same way I say, if Ethan says this, and so it is. Like, because, like, yeah, they've got accomplishment. But also like in narrow areas too. Like, there are experts in this and experts in that. You take those things you put together and you test people based on what they've performed. But Salicrup, he came up with Spider-Man, not the guy in the outfit and the great power. He came up with just calling Spider-Man #1, just Spider-Man #1 for Todd McFarlane. Simplicity. Like, he came up with that. And like, so then he's like, well, why don't you just call it The Mermaids? I fucking know better than him, better than like the guy who made that Spider-Man title and was part of working with Todd McFarlane, developing Todd McFarlane. Right. No, I don't. That's how we work in this industry as professionals. That's how we survive, is that when we find someone who's a great talent, and it's not me necessarily, but find someone who's a great talent in certain specific areas, and they give you a suggestion like, I really think your title should be this. And if you're not sure about it, you can think about it. There's no emergency. But no, you don't fucking blow off the guy that came up with Spider-Man and empowered Todd McFarlane to be Todd McFarlane and have the success that he had. You don't blow that off and say, yeah, but you know what? This guy who's a Blue Muppet, or this person who they put out one book that isn't Ethan, and they think it should be this. Like, I don't see it that way. Ted Zagaro is a serious video editor. He's got serious experience outside of our field. He gets like major per diems to do video editing. He really knows his shit. So when he's like, I don't think you should do this. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to fucking defer to him. Not, but I wouldn't necessarily, and he knows a lot about comics too, but I'm open to feedback from everybody. I get great feedback from people, but you understand what I'm saying? It's like, you gotta you want to hear people out, but if Ethan was saying, going to sit down with me, and he hasn't, and he has a lot of things to do, but Ethan the other night said he's going to talk about all his thinking behind planning for his Cyberfrog campaign. And I was like, that's fantastic. And then he got a little bit tired and he'd already run a few hours. but I reminded him tonight, like, whenever you're ready, I would love to hear that on a live stream. Because what he came up with the collector's box at the featured tier, that's fucking brilliant marketing. That is serious.
Sure.
I tell everybody this, Ascension. I pay $250 a flat fee for what Ted is doing on my videos. I absolutely love what Ted does on my video. Like, Ted is and Ascension, I know you're working hard and doing stuff. Ted has been my guy for campaign graphics. I pay him a little for that. And I pay him that. He's just doing me a very big solid to do that, what he does for videos. No one's seen the Mermaids video yet, and very few people in full. But what he did is fucking amazing. But what Ethan did with that collector's box is incredible, and it can be replicated, and it doesn't have to be by Ethan's guy. I will get those numbers correct. I'm telling you, man, I will get those numbers correct. I really want to do it for the Mermaids. I want to learn how to do it. I mean, we'll make more money, and that's great. But the process is more fascinating to me than just like, oh, well, we made another $2,000. Like, yeah, money is important too. $2,000 is not nothing to me. It's fine. It's a lot of money. But it's like you want to know how to do this stuff. Replicator! What's up, Replicator?
How's it going?
But anywho, yeah. So like you gotta figure out. It's part of the profession too. You do your own thing, but it's like you gotta figure out like who do you know who's an expert in this or that or the other thing. Nobody packages his books like this fucking maniac, the Replicator Rob.
Right.
You know, with the wax and the thing. It's like, could we also do that? You know what? Yeah, we probably could. Someone would have to fucking ask him. Like, well, what's your process? What are you actually doing over there?
Right. Well, those people that don't listen to the experts, I mean, a lot of times it just comes down to ego, right? Like, it just comes down to that thing of like not being able to know when to get out of your own way.
I want to answer that. This is a really good question. Adam, will the comic Mermaids, of course, the Mermaids, finally answer the big question? No, I'm just being funny. Yay, don't disrespect Salacrum. He'll kill you. He's a very tough guy. He actually did run with some tough guys. That's another story. Regarding mermaids for over centuries, how do mermaids reproduce? We do have a pregnant mermaid, and they are all female mermaids, of course. Sure. The first book does not get into that. I am interested in it. Yeah, it looked a little insane, Rob. It did look a little fucking crazy. Now, you said with people getting out of their own way, sometimes people just don't fucking know what they don't know. I mean, honestly, I do have conversations with people I have a lot of respect for. I really like them. I like them personally. They fucking do not know publishing. They don't have the background. It's like, there's not a lot of things I'm good at doing. There's not a lot of stuff that I know how to do. There's not a lot of stuff I've done. I don't fully script anything on my own, but I could probably write better than some people that I've seen, you know, not everybody, but I don't even fucking attempt it. You know, what I attempt to do is I know how to collaborate with professionals who've proven themselves before, whether it's writing, coloring, yes, book design. You know, I do have ideas, but I'll take my cute little idea, but it's going to all be tested. Cecil said something the other night, and I have a lot of respect for him, but Cecil is saying that he's rewriting something for the fourth time because he's nervous it's his first book. That is a total first-time thing, and his book is going to be very cool. It's going to do big, big dollars. The next one he does is going to do big, big dollars.
Right.
That said, do you know why I don't get nervous when I'm executing on something with writing? And I co-wrote G.I. Jackrabbits, the new version. But the reason I don't get nervous is because you create a can't fail service, a structure. You work with, if it's your first effort, either an editor that's going to baby you, who's experienced, who you trust, who you know has like a reputation. You just give the guy some money. It's not that much money, whatever it is. And then that person protects you. They look out for you. They're not going to let you fuck up. They're not going to let you do something stupid. They're going to make great suggestions to you, especially if it's a big campaign. Of course you can do that. And if you really don't have the confidence, of course you can get someone to co-write with you. I'm not doing G.I. Jackrabbits and have it not be fucking brilliant and not be a great basis for licensing and God knows what we could do with it. It was my dream time thing to do as a fucking kid. This is like a great opportunity to do it. I'm not going to fuck it up. So I went with Professor Geek to do it. We wrote it together. It came out fantastic. That said, I really love Stefan's writing so much. I'm going to probably bring him in to take another pass at it as an editor, make suggestions on characterization, and spend a little more money on it, just to make it like, so that I know that the characters really come alive. And Stefan has, he's really, really strong at dialogue. And honestly, I at Stefan's level is so much higher than ours at dialogue mine. And even Michael's a very good writer, Professor Geek, but he's magic.
He is.
Stefan. He's, I don't know how much of his, you read his first book, I guess.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of Professor Geek stuff.
He's really good. When you like I told him, there's a core group of the G.I. Jackrabbits that we've turned into sort of like the Fantastic Four, like that kind of a family-ish vibe. Okay. But it's also like in a larger umbrella of it kind of being like an X-Men Magneto's group versus our good guy group.
Right.
But that was written well enough that my intention was the good guys were going to be the not rebel group. And then we kind of worked through the story. And as we got going, I'm like, you know what? I really do like the rebel guys much better. And not just because they're rebels, but I respect where they're coming from more than I respect like the main character. It's just an odd thing, but that just kind of tells you it's actually good. You're not just writing it to check a box or some shit. You're doing something good. You're going to go to bed. Brian Blevins, great being with you, man. Make sure we're connected on Twitter, please, at Comics We Love. And definitely, let's connect. Yeah, let's not put wax on ourselves because it's too time consuming. Exactly. I don't want to keep you all night either, my friend. I know you are in Portland, but just the same, you said you were just able to come up for a little bit.
I'm gonna take a page from Brian. I gotta dip out too, man.
All right, and I'm gonna get some rest. We'll wrap it up, guys. Hey, chat, it was great being with you. Definitely, epicmermaids.com. Sign up for the list because that's all you need to do, and it's a great thing to do. Back Deepwell, The Caliber of Death. Please I shared this tonight, but I'm going to happily share it again. Let's get this thing shared out. Let's get it back. Let's hit the numbers. We have 26 hours. That is a little bit scary. That's part of life.
Right.
But it'll get done.
We'll extend if we have to. But
you haven't extended yet?
No, man.
Oh, come on, Mike. You had me all worried and everything. Well, we all extend. No, I mean that. I guess I can't speak for everyone, but I don't know. I don't even want to extend anymore.
I can't see under the camera.
What's that?
Nothing. I was
I can't see. Oh, that kind of extend. Not that kind of extending. Well, maybe, but
okay.
You're allowed to go to sleep. Tyler, you've been good too. Tyler, I appreciate you. Ascension, thank you for jumping in with us. Sci-fi, I hope you're not sleeping already. I feel like you might be. Wake up! I would imagine a sequel series would be good proof of concept to make the IG. Yeah, it is good. Sometimes people want to see that there's more than one book. Partly because you're delivering, and also partly because it's like, oh, it's a bigger story, and like maybe this is going to be ongoing. People back the campaign. That's money, but people invest part of themselves in stories. Like you're getting intimate with someone when you're getting into a story, so it's like you're really asking a lot of someone to not just give you money. That's fine. The money's not the big deal. Their time, their energy, and kind of putting a little of themselves and relating and injecting some of your story into their fucking brains and their life. It's a lot to ask. So you want to think about not just, it's not about you, Mike, but not just throwing something out like, oh, I have an idea, let me just pop a book out. It's like, well, not that you're doing, but it's like maybe do it though, but do it like if you really only have one story, it's only one story, but like you got more than one story. There's a fucking world there. There's things going on. There's people in it. There's a prequel of what happened before, or what happened with this son or the grandson 200 years later. I mean, there's always more. There's always potentially more. So we really want to think about engaging with people and keeping that promise of like, look, it's worth your time. It's not just a hit it and quit it. We're going to do more stories. We're going to develop this more. You're going to invest yourself in it. You didn't go to sleep. Good for you.
Yeah. Next year is going to be the year of sequels for Chibi. It's book 2 for Gods Fear Me. It'll be book 2 for Deepwell, and possibly even book 2 for Samurai and Dinosaurs.
Oh, awesome. So this is part of an ongoing series. Back deep well. Now you know I like it. Now I'm behind it. Sci-fi for me, Sizzy Fizzy. We were talking about changing your name, but that's a pretty good name still. Tell Niall to tell Billy to tell Niall and you. Let's get Mike on the show. Have you been on their show?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But get me on the show then. Let's talk about mermaids. All right, guys. Everyone have a great night. Thank you so much for the super chats and the support. And thank you. I know you guys signed up. I was kind of checking before. We did get a bunch more signups for the mermaids. I really appreciate you. Have a great night, guys. We will see you again soon. If I don't see you, Mike and I will miss you.
Later.